Well, hey, hello. How's it going? Welcome to
Hello.
What Had Happened Was. Yeah, there's the mic, Angie.
Oh my gosh.
Apparently,
It's like only the mic though. Hold up.
just, mildly important. I don't know.
Yeah, we got to get that shit right. What up,
All the
Karen?
Yeah, not too much. Actually, Angie, you remind me of something funny. But first, yeah, folks, welcome to What Had Happened Was episode 67. Today, our guest is going to be Neil Magny, who is fighting
Yes.
Shavkat Rakhmonov this weekend. And,
Yes.
Neil is
Good
just a
job.
G. He's just a thanks. Yeah, he's just a G in the division. He's been around forever. He is a dad of two, and it is Father's Day. So happy Father's Day to all of you out there.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I just got back from Austin, and what you been doing this weekend?
Nothing much. I did a few podcasts today. If anyone's interested, Two Straws is making a comeback on Fight
Nice,
Pass, so
nice,
we're working on that today.
cool.
Also ceremonial weigh-in made a comeback because we were, yeah, I don't know, just tired of not doing it. So
Yeah.
me and my husband also have our little podcast going, and unfortunately today I pushed them all back until today. So this is my third podcast
Oh
today.
no.
But I mean, it's less than what you went through this weekend because you actually flew somewhere. I did it all in my
Yeah.
my extra room, my game room. Now
Yeah.
the podcast room. So not too bad. I can't really be
Nice.
too mad at the setup. But yeah, that was the goal for this weekend. And then on top of that, just training as normal. Getting some
Uh-huh.
sparring in, then relaxing during Saturday, just chilling, watching fights
Right.
and enjoying your voice.
Cool. So, and how often are you and Jess going to do that?
I think we're doing that every couple of weeks, so it's
Uh-huh.
not too stringent when we're
Uh-huh.
both fighting. It's just easier to take care of that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're coming back with Two Straws thing. We just started off talking about Tough, watching Tough
Uh-huh.
30, breaking it down, relating to our experiences being on Tough
Right.
20. And even that is just gross to me to realize how much time has gone by between when I got on
Yeah.
Tough and now I'm just like, oh, I'm so old.
Yeah, it's been a
Yeah,
minute.
it was a minute. It's a long time ago. I have many
Yeah.
more gray hairs now.
Well, it's crazy. Like for me, I know when Joanna retired, I was like, huh, yeah, I was there for her whole entire career. Okay. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And then you're just
Yeah.
sort of like, it's cool that you saw their whole entire career, but you're like, wow, I saw their whole career. Like, wow.
Yeah.
I
They
mean, in
came
terms of the
and they
UFC part,
went.
anyway. Yeah,
Yes,
in terms of the
exactly.
UFC part.
Exactly.
But yeah, but it is it's interesting, like this weekend. There were so many veterans on the card, and then to have the thing happen with Lauzon and Cowboy, and
I
just
know.
for like a little. Here's the thing that's interesting about it. After, so we heard the fight was off, and as I'm going to work on Friday, I ran into some of the guys, from Joe's team, and we were talking about it, and they were like, "No, it's the craziest thing." He was at the medicals, and don't want to give, stuff that's whatever, maybe personal away, but as Joe talked about, like his knee locked up and it was just the craziest thing. Well, it turns out that the way they undid it, the way he got better, because it turns out he actually got better and he could
Oh,
have fought. So he called up
no.
Cowboy. No, he called up Cowboy and he's like, Cowboy, are you still there? And Cowboy's like, yeah. He's like, do you want to still fight? He's like, yeah. But the problem is, Cowboy had a couple beers. And so you can't, and the thing is like,
Ah.
he can't have been seen drinking a beer and then go and fight. Like, that's just not
Oh
going to happen.
man, that
But
is a
how's,
very cowboy thing to
it's
do,
such a
though. To
cowboy,
like
like we
put
would
his beer down, put down his whiskey
put in his
on the bar
mouthpiece.
top. Yeah, exactly. Holster his gun, put it on the
Yeah.
table, just be like, "All right, let's go." Like that
Yeah.
is a very cowboy thing. I would have loved for that to been able to flesh out and
I
then hear the
know.
backstory later.
It would have been incredible, but it
Dang.
didn't happen. But it would have been incredible. And so the way that they found out how to fix it, they said randomly this guy sent him a message on like Instagram or something, and Joe just randomly, he happened to see this message, and the guy was saying like, "Look, it happens to me all the time too. What you need to do is do squats up against a couch." Like this sounds really weird. So they were
Huh.
telling me what they did. And so it was like, you did squats, but you kept your butt, I guess, like sort of rubbing up against calves. Anyway, it ended up loosening his thing. And like he said, he gingerly tried to step on it. And then all of a sudden he was like, oh my God. And then he was like dancing.
Bouncing.
Yeah. And he
Oh
was like, holy crap, I
man.
can fight, and then,
Dang.
but it was too late. Like if it had only happened, like an hour and a half sooner or something, it could have been saved. So
Dang. I feel
it's a
like that's
heartbreak.
one of those things with the tent preacher, how they're like, hallelujah, you've been
Yeah,
healed, son, step up. Like really they're just making them do the squat thing. They just have
exactly.
a history in
They figured it out.
physiotherapy.
Exactly, and they figured it out, and it's figured it out. Oh,
Yeah.
well, we should give some shout outs here. What up, Geshlin 2008? What happened
Yo, is that
was
Dana White with the do-rag on? What is
looks like it, yeah.
That's awesome. Gotta
Okay,
get them
hey,
waves going.
hey, Cesare Ferris says Angela, serious question. How to get your afro like that? I have the same hair texture, but I have no clue. Thanks.
Did I lose you?
Yeah. Oh,
Well,
are you
if
there?
I'm
Are you
still
there?
here, if you want to get your afro like mine, then I usually do a twist out, but my hair has a lot of shrinkage. So I'll usually like twist it. And then like a lot of my training photos, you see that all my hair is twisted. Hey, she's back. All my hair is twisted. And then I let it out and then I like kind of floof it and then it does
Hey,
this. But usually it's
okay.
really
See, I
small.
can't see you. I can only hear you right now. I can't. You're a
Oh,
frozen
okay.
picture,
Oh
which is a
no. Yeah,
bummer
you were
because I
you
can
were
hear you
frozen too.
perfectly. Huh.
No. Yeah,
Shoot.
my
Uh-oh. Well,
my
let's
thing's
let's go
all
to the
clicked
comments.
in and stuff. Yeah.
So Jesus is saying you froze. Let's see.
Okay.
I don't know who it is. You're
Can
frozen
you
for me, but
can you
you could
hear
pop
me?
out and pop back. Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh,
I
okay.
could have you
Let
pop
me
out and
pop
pop
out.
back in. Okay.
Yeah.
Hi everybody. So anyway, yeah, it was a crazy night. But how nuts is that story about Joe Lauzon? Like the fact that we actually could have had that fight and it just was a matter of a couple of hours. So that was a real bummer. So let's try this again. Oh, hey girl, hey.
Hey. Whoops. Yeah, my thing's plugged in and everything. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. Yeah, get off my Wi-Fi, people. It's the neighbors.
Yeah. They said that somebody said here they said at least you didn't freeze. At least you didn't freeze with a weird face.
Oh, nice. I was probably doing this.
Yeah, zhuzhing. You're a little blurry now, but
Eugene.
you're still here though.
Okay.
Yeah.
I gotta
But
stop
yeah,
moving.
um, so anyway, yeah, Neil is going to be here in a few minutes. But who did you think won the main event last night between Calvin Kattar and
I
Josh Emmett?
mean, I'm kind of biased. I really love Calvin Cater's style. Like his
Yeah.
style of Muay Thai is just like man, I love getting in that boxing range and chipping away with elbows.
Uh
So
huh.
that's why I really enjoy his style of fighting. And but I understand why his style of fighting is harder to see where he's having success
Hmm.
because when you're fighting someone like Emmett who just does big crazy like movements and comes forward and pushes people with their just force coming forward, pushes them with their punches, pushes them like literally physically shoving them. It looks
Yeah.
bad to someone who isn't looking for the inside work and the chipping
Right.
elbows and stuff like that. So a lot of times even the commentary, people who are trained to see those things, a lot of times even the commentary wouldn't pick up on like a big cross would land but also an elbow would land from Kattar,
Right.
and
Right.
they would only see the cross because it's a bigger movement. It
Right.
stills the show basically, even if the chip and elbow on the inside might have done more damage. So I had Kattar winning. I thought it was pretty clear, especially like the last 2 rounds were clear with the damage. But I thought he did good work in the first couple of rounds too. I think that I forget which round it was, but there was definitely a few rounds
Four
where Emmett
really turned
was
it on.
yeah, 4 really turned it on, but there were a few rounds where Emmett was doing work, he was doing
Yeah.
damage, he wasn't just hitting the arms, like, he was, like, landing on the head
Yeah. I think it
and
was the
really
third round. He
moving
went
Qatar.
nuts. Yeah.
Yeah, he was really moving Qatar, and I think, that was really swaying the judges even in the rounds that I felt like Qatar had in the bag, the just pushing him around, like, bullying him. That was a win by bullying. Um but yeah, I felt like Qatar did enough. I felt like If anything,
Wait, you're killing me. It's Kattar.
oh wait, it's Kattar. What? Kattar,
It's
Kattar.
Calvin Kattar.
That's the thing. Once I get
Kattar.
it a certain way in my head, it's so hard. It's so hard to not say it that
It's
way.
Kattar.
It's
You
so
got to
hard.
say it with a Boston accent. It's Calvin Kattar.
I'm not gonna cater to the way that you want me to say
Yeah.
cater. I'm not gonna cater to it. I'm saying Kattar because Jafar is my favorite villain and
Oh
sounds
my
like that.
God. Oh my
No.
God. Jafar.
Yeah, Calvin Jafar.
Yeah, Calvin Jafar. That is funny. Well, yeah, I ask because I want to here, let me just I think I need to just move this so that we can see everything. But I have the scorecard here. And so I was going to show it because, it was interesting. I thought Calvin won also, but I also admit to being biased because I am from Boston. So, and
Mm,
I just love that guy. I think he's awesome. He's such a nice guy, great sense of humor, really amazing fighter, obviously just does such great work, such great
yeah.
boxing. And he's just fun to watch. And he's just technical. And like, I speaking of how we're saying, watching somebody's whole career, like, yeah, I love that I'm here for the Kattar career. I love
Yes.
that I'm here for the Yanez career. I love that
Yes.
I'm here for, there's a lot of people that right now that I'm like, F yeah, like I'm psyched they're here. And like Kamzat, you know what I mean? Like doing stuff. This is gonna be fun. So I really do like Calvin Kattar a lot. That said, Josh Emmett is like, I mean, it's not like the guy isn't really good, and he's a great guy, very nice. He came to the desk with us on Friday. But I thought that I thought that he won. I thought that he did more. And I thought that, yeah, the stuff that was landed by Josh Emmett was more showy, and he does have more power. But I did think that Calvin won. I did think it was very close. And so I'm not like pissed
No,
off or anything like that. It
exactly.
was really, really close.
It
So I
was
can't be
close.
like mad. I'm not mad, but I'm just like, I thought Calvin won. Like,
And one thing I didn't notice before, but look at these names. These are all names of people who I do not trust. Going
yeah.
to the scorecard.
Chris
Every
Lee,
one of
Doug
these guys
Crosby, Sal
have done
D'Amato.
me dirty at some point of my career. So and it's crazy because they'll get it right, but then they'll get it totally wrong on another card. And
Yeah.
this is one of those cards where you can't really be mad at any of these guys for the score that they picked. Chris Lee is one I would nitpick because at round 4, I thought it was pretty clear. Maybe I had to go back and watch the fight again, but I thought round 4 was pretty clear. Like 4 and 5 were pretty clear. Kattar rounds.
Yes, they were. They
I had
were.
to
And good
slow my
job.
brain
And
down.
good job.
Kattar.
They were.
Yes. So so that little score right there, that would have won him the fight. It's something that everyone can agree
Right.
with. 4 was a Kattar round. It sucks.
Yeah.
It sucks for Calvin. This is the second time it's happened to him. I do think he won his Dillashaw fight more convincingly. But this was a very close fight, and it just
Wait,
sucks
Dillashaw?
because I mean not Dillashaw.
Giga? Chikadze?
No, yeah, TJ. Kattar versus TJ. Wait, who did he fight?
Giga Chikadze in January. He won very convincingly. And then
Who did he fight? And it was
TJ's a bantamweight.
who did he fight? And it was
And a flyweight.
what do you call it? For the title. And I must be thinking of someone else. I
Yeah.
must be thinking of someone else. I
He fought Max. That was his biggest fight, but Max beat him up. And then he came back from that fight a year later.
Okay.
And had that great fight with Giga.
Okay, let me just look at his little history and make sure I'm not totally tripping. But yes, you're right. He did not fight.
Yeah, Ige. You're Dan Ige or
I get him mixed with Corey Sanhagen. That's what it is. I
oh
get
yeah,
those two
yeah. No,
mixed
that's a
up.
totally different dude.
Yeah, totally different dude.
You're getting your white boys confused. You're getting your white boys
Man,
confused.
it's hard, man. There's a lot of them out there.
They all look
There's
the
so
same.
many of them out there. I just get riled up by split decisions. I'm just like, it's happening to everyone. I'm so mad. This needs to stop.
Yeah. Yes. It was really close though. So, good for Josh. And unfortunately, we didn't get him at the desk after because I guess he was probably in medical for a while because he did get touched up.
Yeah,
So
that eye was nasty. It was a
yeah,
horrible, horrible eye. But he did go to the press conference, so kudos to him
yeah,
for
yeah.
doing that, doing his media stuff before he ran off to the hospital because that
Mhm.
definitely need to get checked out and
Yeah, but
smashed
remember he
down.
had broken his orbital before, even right? So
Yeah, versus
hold on, let me
Jeremy. But
right.
that
Hold
was
on a
like
second.
his whole face.
Yeah, that was bad. Sorry, I just realized I need to move that down. Yeah, no, that was bad. Jeremy, yeah, that was. They're both so powerful. So.
Yeah, yeah.
How did he do at PFL? I didn't see. I just saw the thing about him weighing in, and everybody was like, "Ooh, look at Jeremy cheating."
I know. Hey man, they called the number. That's my boy. So yeah, whatever. Take it
What
how you
happened? Like,
want.
I didn't know.
But
Did he make weight actually, or like?
when I watched the
Can't
weigh-in,
believe I did air quotes.
yes, there was yes, there was a moment where his foot was halfway off the scale. But
Yeah.
then when they called the number, he was fully on the scale, both feet on the scale. So
Okay.
the photo, they didn't call the number yet, and then he got on the scale, and then they called the number and it was 156. So
Okay.
hey
Because I'm just
man.
saying, people were trying to spin that story like he was cheating, and they were,
Hey
letting
man,
him.
people people cheat, people do things. People do things, champions do things, you
Not
know.
our next guest, Angela. Our next guest is not a cheater. Our next guest is an
Oh,
honest man. Our next guest,
never.
the former military man. Our next guest has been a force in the UFC welterweight division for so many years. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome in Neil Magny. Hey,
Hey,
how you
how's it
doing?
Hey.
going?
Good. How are you?
Pretty good. Just enjoying this Father's Day.
Yes, thank you for
Hey.
doing this. Happy Father's Day.
Oh, no problem. Thank you.
We won't keep you long. But can you tell us you have a brand new baby, don't you?
Oh no.
Curtis had the photo bomb.
Oh.
Yeah, I had a brand
Phantom
new
punch.
baby. He decided to show up 6 weeks early,
Oh,
and he's doing great.
good, good,
Oh,
good, good. So
congrats.
sweet. What's his name?
Dominic,
Nice.
Oh, very
Oh, so
sweet.
sweet. Well,
Very sweet.
congratulations. That's
thank
awesome.
you.
And so, yeah, you have two total, right?
Yep, 2 sons now. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
lucky guy. Did you want sons or were you one of those guys that wanted daughters or
No, I was actually looking forward to a daughter. Like I had picked out daughter names and everything. I was like
oh.
convinced I was having a daughter, but all this pink paint for her room, all this stuff. I was like, I'm definitely having a daughter, but no, 2 sons.
Wow.
Hey.
Well, that is rare. Like the fighter curse is usually that you guys all have daughters.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, I
And
true.
got
they all
Like
want to
picked
be
most
up
guys.
fighters.
Exactly.
Yeah, you have daughters and they want to be fighters too. And you're like, no.
Well, listen, it is a big fight for you coming up against Shavkat. He's a guy that a lot of people are saying, is one of the next big things here, and a guy that a lot of people are probably not necessarily in a hurry to fight. But you're like, yeah, sure, I'll take it. Why not? What do you make of the matchup? Yeah, bring it, bring it. What do you make of the matchup?
Yeah, I love the matchup. I mean, sorry, Daddy Duty here. Hey,
Hey,
want to say hi,
it's
son?
okay.
Want to say hi?
Oh my,
Oh, so precious.
We'll give you some more.
Hey.
Um, yeah, I'm also super excited about the matchup from the moment it was announced. I mean, he's undefeated. He's the guy that most people are willing to fight. So, when the offer came through, there was no hesitation on my end at all. I was like, yeah, absolutely, let's do it. I've been chasing a fight for a real long time now, and the
Mhm.
fact they got a young, undefeated up and comer that was willing to take the challenge, I was like, absolutely, let's do it.
Nice, nice.
Nice. Yeah, yeah, I feel like there's a certain type of fighter sometimes. Like some people are willing to jump to that occasion and others are more willing to back off, and like fighters like you, like Anthony Smith, like
Yeah.
there's just a bunch of guys, Michael Chiesa, a bunch of you guys are not that type. You're just like, give me the boogeyman. I don't care about your zero. If anything, I want to take it away even more. Is that how you
Yeah.
feel going into a fight against an undefeated guy? Do you feel like it's almost easier to break them?
100%. I mean, the biggest thing is you watch the sport of the last 10 years. Everyone has that fight that they wish would have happened. The most recent one was Tony Ferguson versus Khabib. Everyone wanted that fight to happen, but
Mhm.
because of one reason or another, Sorry.
It's
Because one
okay.
reason or another, it never happened. So to be
Mm.
able to face these guys when the opportunity presents itself, like I'm more than willing to do it. And once and done, like I'm more than
She
willing
is
to do
so
it, and I'm
cute.
excited about the potential outcome of it.
Right.
Sorry, guys. Hey, what's
Oh
the
my
matter,
God, no,
man?
he's so cute.
That little hand. Oh my
That fight
I
gosh.
over.
know. I
Just want
know.
to like grab
Well,
it and bite it.
because you were asking for Khamzat as well, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like those are the fights that I really want to take right now when I'm in my prime. I mean, I don't want to wait 10 years from now. I'm like, oh, I wish I would have fought that guy. Like, no, I'm in the best shape of my life right now. I feel like I'm in my prime right now. I want to fight some of the best guys out there. If this young up and comers or the seasoned veterans, I want to fight them all. That way, when I leave my career behind, I can actually say with a clear conscience, like I did the best I could, and I'm okay with the outcome of it. I didn't duck any fighters. I didn't pick and choose my matchups. I went out there and fought the best of the best, and I hung toe to toe with those guys.
That's what's
Awesome.
up. You definitely
Yeah,
did. Well, the
respect.
last fight with Max Griffin, that was a close fight. That was a tough fight. What did you take away from that one? What did you feel like you did well in that one? What did you feel like, next time out, I'm going to try to fix this?
The biggest thing that took away from that fight was just preparation. Max and his camp did a real good job preparing for that fight. They came in there and they pretty much knew to a T what they wanted to do and how they wanted to fight that fight. And they didn't stray from the game plan at all. They really forced me to go out there and make it a gritty fight in order to get the win. So going into this fight after that one, sorry, hey, get off there, please.
Yes. Please
Put
tell
it
your
down.
kid to get off of
Yeah,
things.
yeah. The biggest thing with that fight was just spend a little more time on preparation, and it gets more and more difficult. I mean, for my
Mhm.
opponents, they have literally 25 plus UFC fights. They can go back and watch
That's
film on me
right.
and break down like what I could do, what I can't do, and what are the odds I'm going to fight a particular type of way. But a lot of my opponents, it's not the same case. I mean, in this case with Shavkat,
Yeah.
I had 3 UFC fights to watch film on and figure out what kind of fighter he is, and then like formulate a game plan using that kind of data. And even with this 3 UFC fights, it was a total of like 6 minutes
Oh,
of footage on him.
Yeah.
exactly.
I, I literally have hours of UFC footage from my fights now. And it makes it a lot easier for guys to game plan for me. So the biggest thing I took from that Max Griffin fight was just preparation going into this fight.
Yeah. Wow.
Nice.
That's a
And
really good point.
what is what is your method for overcoming that? Because I have a similar problem. I have a lot of footage on me, a lot of minutes in the
Yeah.
cage. And what how do you and your team overcome that? Is there an extra pressure just to get better at what you already do well, or do you try to like add new tricks to your game every time you go out there?
You definitely add some new tricks here and there, but the biggest thing is like, I mean, I'm not going to stray from my bread and butter at this point. I mean, with all the wins I've had in the UFC at this point, it'll be very hard for me to shy away from what I did in the past that worked well for me.
Mm.
So the biggest thing is like me being my own critic, my own biggest critic. Like I had to like watch these fights, win or lose, and then break down like, all right, cool. I could have done this better. I can improve here. I can do this there. And kind of gain things from there. And it's one of those things that's difficult because like no one wants to like watch film after a big win, like, oh yeah, I got that win, whatever. We don't have to watch that film again. Or we won't have to watch that fight again. But
Yeah.
even after the big win, I have to go back and I have to watch the film and see what these guys did well. I mean, Max did a lot of good things in
Mhm.
that fight. And it's up to me to go back and watch that fight and look what he did well and try to like plug those holes, so to speak, so the next guy can't capitalize on those mistakes.
Do you have a fight that you consider to be your best performance?
No, I mean, I feel like I'm constantly trying to chase that next one. I mean, I'm always like shocked by the outcome sometimes when these fights happen. Like, I go and I watch the Hector Lombard fight, for example, and like
Yeah.
see myself getting knocked all over the canvas and still find a way to come back and win that fight. I was like, damn, dude, like I don't remember those shots being that bad, but somehow it looked terrible on this end. But like I'm always chasing like that next big performance, that next big like wow fight. It's in like be talked about for years and years to come.
Nice. Okay.
I imagine you watching that fight and just like going,
Yeah.
you know, like you get the
Doing the
fighter
Chuck
twitch.
Liddell, the Chuck Liddell.
I
Yeah.
literally flinching with every shot that came my way, like, oh god, here it comes.
Yeah. Like a scary movie. Yeah. Sometimes the wins are just as hard to watch as the losses, right?
For sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
That's
my
funny.
gosh. Oh my gosh. You know, it's we were talking a lot about like the seeing the course of somebody's whole career. And you know, we didn't get to see Joe Lauzon and Cowboy Cerrone fighting last night, but you know, I am curious, like you've been like, how have you been able to stay here so long? Because that's literally a question I would ask the analyst at the desk, and that's literally what I'm going to ask them is to what do you attribute his staying power? Because it's not that you're just still here. It's that you're still incredibly competitive and you're beating people and you're making it look good, you know. So what do you attribute that to?
I think the biggest thing is I'm never just like content with the outcome of the fight. Like we were saying earlier, win or lose. I'm never I made it. That was a great fight. Let's go ahead and settle now. I'm always like looking at ways to improve and where to get better. And it's like, I think like that's what keeps me going. And that's what keeps me like trying to get better in every aspect. And even now having all the fights that I've had at being UFC for so long, it's like, all right, how do I still go out there and chase those big performances and have like every aspect of it? How am I recovering? How am I sleeping? How am I preparing for the fight? How many times am I training a week? How much am I training in a day? How many hours am I training in a day? I really have to break it down to like every single detail and figure out like, all right, what do I absolutely need to do, and what can I trim off as far as like what's going to take away from my performance or take away from me being able to like have the longevity that I've had so far.
Nice, nice. You kind of answered my question already, but I was gonna ask when it comes to health as well. Are there things that you do differently now that you didn't do in the beginning of your career? And I think the hours thing that you touched on is a really big point. But is there anything else that you do differently now?
So the training changed quite drastically. Like when I can remember earlier in my career to like maintain cardio, like I was constantly running and doing things outside the gym.
Mhm.
Now my training sessions are literally specifically what I do in the gym within those few hours. So if
Mm.
I have 3 sessions that day, I'm not doing anything more or less outside those 3 training sessions. I'm going in there, I'm executing the game plan to a T as far as like what my coaches want me to do and how they want me to do it. And once I get done with those workouts, I'm kind of like leaving it up to that. Where in the past, like the idea that like, oh, your opponent's outworking you always like drove you to do more. It's like I should be resting on a Sunday, but because the idea that my opponent could possibly outwork me, I'm gonna go run 5-6 miles on a Sunday where I should be resting.
Yeah,
So
Right.
yeah,
doing like not doing things like that have definitely helped out a lot. And just like not taking any more unnecessary risks. Like I'm not doing any more of the like crazy snowboarding and crazy things I was doing in the past when I would like be in between fights. Now I was just like, all right, cool. Fight, train, sleep, recover, get ready for the next one.
Yeah.
I'm not doing any of this like crazy extracurricular stuff that's gonna like take away potentially from like what I can do in the cage.
hey
And
man,
so
don't
who
disrespect Cowboy Cerrone like that. All right.
No, I mean, it's not like the thing that I was actually doing. Like in between fights, I'll be on my mountain bike, going downhill mountain bike and skateboarding, all this kind of
yeah,
stuff that like, how is this gonna add or take away from my fight? And like most of the time, it's okay. I'm not falling off the bike. I'm not falling off the skateboard. I'm not falling down the
right.
mountain, and it's okay. But when I do take those falls, it takes a lot longer to recover. And
Yeah.
I spend time recovering from that. I'm spending less time in the gym doing what I need to do. So, just making that conscious decision to step away from certain things in order to like prioritize others.
Yeah, I
Nice.
had to remind a fighter friend who picked up skateboarding recently. I was like, bro, risk hard. You know, he's like, oh, you think? I'm like, yeah. You know, like
That's so
what are
funny. It's
you
definitely
doing?
one of those things you got to pick up when you're a kid because
Yeah.
you heal so quickly.
For
Yeah, yeah,
sure,
totally.
yeah.
Oh
Oh
man. But are
man.
you're a gamer though, aren't you? In terms of like hobbies, if you are doing something else that's not fight based, like what are your hobbies?
So no, I'm not a gamer. I'm actually
Oh no.
like I have the worst attention span when it comes to games. Like I'll sit there for five, six
Funny.
minutes and then get bored. Like I do not have the attention span for games.
Okay.
But what I have been doing a lot more of is just like diving into my real estate projects and things like that. That's
Mhm.
been keeping me pretty busy. Like I'm always like in between fights, I'm always like doing some kind of like house project or remodel project, something like that. To
Yeah.
kind of like keep me occupied, so to speak.
Yeah.
But it's also something that I
Yeah.
enjoy doing as well. You gotta listen, let me like kind of flip the off switch, so to speak, where I'm not like worried about the next fight too much. I can actually
Mhm.
rest doing something else that's not gonna break my body down too bad, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a
Right.
little bit if you get in there yourself and start renovating and stuff.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, great relief. Like I can remember after my fight with Posnevio, I mean I had like a 60-day suspension. I was just like, well, 60 days I can't go to the gym. What do I do? And that time I remodeled an entire basement, got another rental property, and like all this crazy stuff within 60 days. I was like, All right, cool. That's good rest to me.
Nice, nice. See, I would have just
Man.
wasted time playing video games and not created any type of equity or anything.
Yeah.
Just, hey, I'm good at Elden Ring now.
I mean, to each his own.
I
I'm
know,
just
right?
taking time for it.
No, that's really awesome. That's cool to hear.
That is. Hey, so do you still use the Haitian Sensation nickname?
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
definitely
Yeah,
do.
yeah. Okay, yeah. Well, do you visit Haiti? Like, have you been recently? What's the like? How often do you go? Do you still have a lot of family there?
So I was going to Haiti at least twice a year on mission trips. And that's why I decided to go ahead and use that nickname. For the first few times that I went there, it was interesting to see some like because we the mission. I'm sorry. So the organization I go with is called Mission 111. And they have an orphanage. They have a children's home. They have a couple of schools that they run out in Haiti. And the first couple of times that I went there, I've noticed that like everyone has a soft heart for an orphan. Like you see a young child from like 3 years old up to 10 years old, like, oh my God, this child doesn't have a home. I want to give him a home. I want to do something for him. But then you get these kids that get to like 14 to like young adult age, like 18, 19 years old, and suddenly they don't get as much sympathy. And when I went there, I felt like I really connected with those kids, especially like the young guys out there. I felt like I really
Yeah.
connected with them. And when they found out that I was Haitian as well, like their eyes lit up. They're like, wait, what? You're one of us, but you live in the
Aw.
U.S. and you're a fighter. You're this and you're that. How can you be one of us? And they were like so excited to find out that I was Haitian as well. So for me, when I decided to go with the Haitian Sensation nickname, it was more so to like give them a beacon of hope, so to speak. Like not just
Mhm.
look at your circumstances where you are now, but look at like what you can possibly be beyond that. Even if you can't see it right now, look beyond that. If you want to be an engineer, sure. Like don't necessarily worry about how you're gonna do it, but just like have that dream and then find ways to like make that thing happen or whatever. So
Mhm.
every chance I get to be on TV and hear someone say Haitian Sensation in a magazine, on an interview, wherever it may be,
Yeah.
I just want to be like that beacon of hope for any like young adult in that situation where it's like all right, cool, I'm done with high school now. What do I do next? Whatever you want to do, like have that hope be as big as you want, and don't let anyone hold you back, so to speak. So that idea of me like going with the Haitian Sensation nickname definitely excites me to excite somebody else and motivate them.
Okay.
Aw.
I love that so much. I love that
I
so
can't
much.
take how good of a person you
I know.
are.
I literally was just gonna say, like, can
I
you
can't
not be
take
such a good
it.
person?
Oh my
But no,
God.
I'm gonna absolutely use that on the air then, because I think that's I just think that's incredible, and just really, 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 really great.
That's
So I love
awesome. So
it.
I've
Yeah.
I've actually known that you were a good person for a long time. Because not everyone knows this, but I have
Yeah.
inside scoop. Because I remember mentioning you to Kat Zagano when she first came out to San Diego, and she used to train with you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, we got this inside joke because everyone says that we look alike. So I call him Big Bro. He calls me like little
Yeah.
sis, even though it's like the other way around. But but she was telling me, she couldn't stop telling me about how great of a person you are, how you'll go to like soup kitchens, you'll go to things like give back to charity, you never post about it, you just do it out of the goodness of your heart. And it really is cool to hear that about someone, because usually
Mhm.
when you hear about something that someone isn't posting, it's because they're embarrassed about it and it's going to get them into trouble.
For
Right,
sure.
So
right.
it's really awesome to hear good news about someone that they're not really putting out there, because you're honestly, or what it seems like for me is that you're doing
Mhm.
it just to help. You're not doing it for
Yeah.
clout. You're not doing it
For
to be
sure.
like, hey, look at what
Yep.
I'm doing, I'm such a good person. Like, you just are comfortable
Yeah.
with being a good person, no one knowing about it. So I always thought that was really an awesome character trait of you.
For sure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's true. It's very true. And you can throw them hands.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
you
I'm
don't
coming
have
to
to
go
be
to
a
do
good person.
Yeah.
I have
So
two
if
moves
you,
either. Oh, that's sorry.
no, I didn't hear what you said. I'm sorry.
Oh, so I have two moves. I'm either happy, smiling, helping people, or like, okay, cool, it's my time. Like I don't have an in between phase that I do.
Nice.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Well, are you a
awesome. That's really good.
disciplinarian then with these two? I mean, obviously you're gonna have to crack the whip at some point, and you're a military man. Like, what kind of
Oh
enforcer are
yeah.
you at home?
Man, it's been interesting because like with my son, it's like I've been like struggling not like to not spoil him because I didn't have things growing up. Like, he's
Oh.
only 2 years old and he has like a garage full of toys already. Like, he has like his Jeep, his ATV, his tractor, his this, his that. He's only two, so like the hardest thing is like trying to figure out like, all right, just because I didn't grow up with certain things doesn't mean I should like absolutely give him everything that I wanted as a kid, kind of thing. So, trying to find that balance between like what is enough, what is adequate for a child to have, and like still be like that quote unquote enforcer dictionary in his life is definitely been a struggle for me so far.
I mean, part of it
Wow.
is for yourself though, so you can chalk it up to you selfishly spoiling your child, and then you don't have to worry about it. Just be like,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's just like 100%. Like I'm like, yeah, it's a struggle for sure. Like no 2-year-old needs as much stuff as he has.
oh.
Here's a little
So
secret.
cool.
I buy my kid whatever she wants. Like it's like it's I don't. I'm like, yeah, all right, whatever. Like
Hey,
I
and she's a
don't.
good kid.
And she's a great kid, right?
She's
So
a good
she's not
kid, yeah.
spoiled. But I only have one. But I get pleasure out of seeing her happy, right? And
For
so,
sure.
and she's really into. It's funny, Neil Magny. She's really into manga, and anime and stuff like that. Sorry, I couldn't resist. And so, like, we'll go to the comic book store or whatever. And she's just, oh, I just want to go and look around or whatever. And then she'll look around and be like, all right, what? I'll give you like $30 worth. What? You know what I mean? Or whatever. She's like,
Aw.
oh, really? Or whatever. And then it's like she's so excited and da da da. And she's getting this great collection because she also is an artist. But so it's just cool. Like I buy her whatever she wants, really. I don't.
Yeah, I'm definitely
So you
guilty of
shouldn't feel bad.
that too.
Yeah, I was pretty spoiled, and I turned out all right. No.
Me too.
Okay, cool. Keep going.
Me too.
Yeah, I had the only girl thing going for me. The baby, the only girl.
too.
So I made out. My brothers were jealous. They were
Same.
so jealous.
Same. Yeah, if you do you think you would have one more to maybe see if you did end up with a girl, or are you guys stuck
No,
with
I'm
it too?
done.
Yeah.
Two and done. Like I was like really hoping for that girl. I'm like, oh, I didn't get that girl, but I'm done anyway.
Bored.
Yeah, shut it down. Shut it down.
Well, the hard part is like I didn't like, even though my son is only 5 weeks old now, like it's just been interesting to see how much time it takes to like develop different relationships with different people. Like I thought like, oh cool, added one more person to the mix, it'll be easy to go. But like no, I set the balanced relationship with my first son, with my wife, and now with my second son as well. And to add another one to the mix, I'm just like, man, that's a lot of time. Like where's it all gonna come from? Someone's gonna get neglected.
Right.
So I feel like having two is a perfect balance for me. I feel like I could be there for both of them equally, and I feel like that's most important.
Nice. That's good. That's honorable. That's honorable. That's nice. All right.
But
I
don't
love
be
it.
surprised, because I do know a lot of couples who they're like, I'm done. And then as soon as the baby gets a little older, gets a little more mature, independent, you're like,
Nope. Get
maybe
slipping
one
in the puppy.
more. Right?
No,
A girl
man,
puppy.
three is way more than two. Because the other thing is with three, then you're talking about like another row of seats in the car or the van or whatever. Like when you
Yeah.
start pushing
It's a
a party of five, that's a big deal. Oh,
Hey, oh my God.
You want to go back
He's
inside?
so
I'll be in a
cute.
second.
he's so cute.
He's so cute. How can you not have another? No, have more babies. We
What
need
if
like
the
10
third
of
one comes
those.
out all awkward looking? You just gotta like count your blessings and quit while you're ahead.
There's that.
That is one of my fears of having kids. I'm like, man, I hope I don't set my kid up. I really do, but I know I love them either way. But I just feel like hopefully I don't set them up.
Well, we will let you go be a dad, and I guess you're traveling on Tuesday, probably or so, right
Yep,
out to Vegas.
Yeah,
Cool,
things worked
cool,
out
cool.
great because like before my son decided to show up 6 weeks early, my wife was scheduled to have a C-section on the 21st. So I literally would have like been at the hospital on Tuesday morning, would have met my son and went straight to the airport. So it worked out pretty well that like he came out 6 weeks early when everything was just fine with him.
Yeah,
Nice. He was looking out for you. Go ahead, Dominic. Like,
Right.
like Dad needs me to get out of here right now.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go. Pack your things.
I got
Yeah.
things to do. Let's go.
I love it. That's so great. Well, cool. Well, we will see you on fight night, obviously, and maybe. Well, yeah, probably see you on on around the Apex on Friday at weigh-ins as well.
For sure.
But yeah, just really appreciate you taking the time, and just you're just a G. Like it's you always show up to throw. You always show up to throw down. Like there's never like well, I guess I can go get snacks during this one. It's never like
Yeah.
that. So
For
Yeah.
sure. Thank you.
You going. Can't wait to see it. Go and steal that O and then enjoy the rest of your Father's Day.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
right.
thanks
take
for
it easy,
coming.
Neil.
All right, no problem. Have a good one, guys.
See ya. Bye.
Bye.
Oh my God, his little baby boy is so how cute is he?
Yeah, I'm about to go make a baby right now. Like that
You
was too
are
much.
going to make it because you would have a baby that
It's
looks like that.
It's like
You would
spewing out of my ears.
Your ovaries went.
Yeah,
like
they're
all this.
2 ovaries hanging out of my ears. Like, come on, bitch, get in there. Let's get that baby going. Oh my God. Oh, it's so cute.
You would have a baby that looked just like that.
And he
Oh my
would
God, what a
like him because
cutie.
everyone thinks that I look like Neil Magny.
Yes.
So you're totally right. Yeah, had
Oh.
little fraggle.
Yes, that's right. It's
Yeah.
amazing. Is this live? Yes, Sam Yemen.
Hello,
It is
Sam
live.
Yemen.
Hi, Sam Yemen.
Yeah.
And yeah, Joe Boza, it was nice for Neil to take some time on Father's Day.
Yeah, that was
yeah.
awesome. I didn't even realize it was Father's Day.
Yeah,
I realized
well,
he was a father, but I didn't realize
when I initially
I got a
asked
phone
him,
call to make.
Yeah, you might. I was just like, oh yeah, it's it's just Sunday. And then he said, yeah, no problem. And then I realized it was Father's Day, and I was like, well, he said no problem, so
Yeah,
obviously it's no problem.
Thanks so much.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
Yeah.
He's such a good guy. And you could see how good of a guy he was by how embarrassed he was about me bringing up his good deeds that he doesn't talk
Oh,
about.
yeah.
He's just like, stop. Please, no, don't tell everyone. I don't want people to know. They're gonna come knocking on his door now. But man, that guy, I even remember when it was a while back, but he was really trying to rally fighters just to support each other as like a network. And if anyone, that's the type of guy who would bring everyone together because no one can say a bad thing about Neil Magny.
Nobody.
Not
what
one
could you say?
Like, yeah, he's too nice.
yeah.
It's too nice. His kids are too
I don't
cute.
trust it. Yeah.
Yeah. He looks too much like Angela Hill. But yeah. That's a red flag. But aside from that, he's always just wanted to help as much as he could.
Yeah.
When he sees any type of injustice or any type of like area where he could possibly just do something that wouldn't cost him anything, like keeping his name as the Haitian Sensation, doing charity, or just simply reaching out to someone and sharing their story, sharing like a podcast that some guy who just got into UFC started. Like he does stuff like that just to encourage them to keep going and keep trying. So I really do love that about him. And he walks the walk too. Like this guy, I remember he was one of the first people to beat Cowboy Cerrone's records for most fights in a calendar year. And I was like, I want to be like that guy,
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. And it was a streak too. Like he had the most streak, the biggest.
He had a 7-fight win streak at one point in the welterweight division, which is ridiculous.
In like 1 year. Or the least amount of time, at least. It was like 370 days or something like that. So Neil is definitely a G. He's ranked for a reason. And I'm excited to see what he can do against this young gun who's coming in. It's going to be a fun co-main event.
It is going to be fun co-main. Hey, speaking of that, what did you think of the co-main last night? Kevin Holland and the Dirty Bird, Tim Means.
Oh man, he did so well. Kevin Holland did so well. And Tim Means has been around for a minute. So I do get sad when the people who've been around for a minute end up fighting like the kind of new generation of guys coming in. Kevin Holland just graced us with our presence around like COVID time. That's when we really started getting into the fighter that is Kevin Holland. But man, his just improvements were so apparent last night. Like just his wherewithal, the way he was able to get out of the way on the takedown attempts, be able to sprawl, able to come out swinging. I think there was one moment where he was just all the way on his side, like on his side underneath.
Yeah.
And then he just stood up. He pulled a Derek Lewis. He just stood up. It's like 1 second he was here. And the next second he was on top of him, like throwing bombs. So it is really impressive, especially the finish. I love when people get that finish. That's something I've always wanted to do. That drop them, sloppy shot, Darce finish. Oh, it's so satisfying. Just snatching the neck up when they try to survive. Like, oh, so satisfying. It was really cool to watch. But sad for Tim Means, but
I know
it was a very good display of evolution, I felt like, for Kevin Holland.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. And supposedly his coaches just really talk about, what a great athlete he is. And so it's, it seems like the ceiling for him is probably actually quite high. You know what I mean? If he can keep learning and keep getting better, and he's already, a naturally gifted athlete type person, then I think that's going to be, it's going to be quite a future for him at welterweight. And he's better at welterweight too. Anyway, like when he came to talk to us at the desk and stuff like that. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, that's a good size for him there. Like he didn't, because he was skinny
small.
he was too skinny for middleweight,
Yeah.
It just wasn't. Yeah.
The fact that he looked small at welter made me almost forget that he was a middleweight at one point. Like, why did you do that?
Dude, he fought Thiago Santos once. It's insane.
Know. And
that's when I first met him.
So skinny. And
I know.
So tiny. And he gave Santos a run for his money, man.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, it was a good fight, and it was a dominant fight for Santos. But dude, he made that fight so fun. He had his moments in there. Everyone was a fan of Kevin Holland more so than Santos after that fight, just because of how insane he was, how funny he was, how he was talking, how he was just like in there having a good time, just like So he's always been a character. I like that he tightened things up a bit now because you can see the focus is there. I almost feel like he believes in himself more now. He's taking himself more seriously, but not too seriously. So it's good. I feel like he's found that balance.
Yeah, he's definitely not taking himself too seriously. I don't think, but yeah, you can only play in the UFC a little bit. Like Michel Pereira, he also started to tighten things up and was like, I think I need to be a real fighter. You know what I mean? I can't be throwing cartwheels and somersaults and, you know what I mean, and being ridiculous all the time.
Yeah, because like Neil Magny says, once people got that tape, there's only so many surprises you can throw out there and be successful with. People learn your movements, they learn your twitches, the way you come forward, like your tells, and then things are a little less surprising when you throw them, even if it's something out of the blue, like crazy.
So how crazy is this? Ricardo Ramos. There's only been 5 spinning back elbow knockouts in the UFC. Ricardo Ramos has 2 of them.
Whoa.
Like, so he, speaking of having tape and, and timing thing, but like he's perfecting that move, obviously. So he did it last night against Danny Chavez, and he had done it before. And I was at this other fight that he did it at too, against Ayman Zahabi at UFC 217 in Madison Square Garden, where we were all literally like, want to see a dead body? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? We were like, oh no, like, is Ayman okay? And I remember actually, I shouldn't make light of it. Like we were nervous. And I remember seeing Faraz in the cage, like, is my brother okay? Like, it was bad.
Well, there's something about those spinning elbows, right?
Yeah.
They just put people out like,
and it's like right on the temple, I guess. And it's like, cause even, when Molly did it, she was out.
She was out for a minute.
Yeah, so we know that the spinning elbow, the only other people to do it are Molly, Jiri Prohashka, and Sun Gun Kim. So, but Ramos is a G with 2 of them out of 5.
Nice. Very nice. That's awesome. So
Yeah.
it's only been 5 finishes from that
Yeah.
in Yair, right? Or does that not count?
That was not a spinning back elbow. That was like that weird up elbow thing,
Spinning up
remember?
elbow.
Yeah, they didn't count that
They
one.
didn't
That
count
wasn't on
that
there.
because he
They
did
didn't
spin.
count it.
He turned around. Maybe he didn't spin fast enough
I think it
because he was
was
retreating. He was
right.
retreating,
And then
and then he
kind
went
of,
up. I feel like
yeah.
that should count.
Yeah, but I think
They're
I
robbing
don't know.
him of his stat. Give
It
him
was
his
cool
stat.
though. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was cool. So was there any is it what was I going to say? Is there any other knockouts that were exciting to you?
Let's see. There were so many.
I mean, because
See,
there
I'm
were so many, so that
confused.
we tied the record. There were 8, there's 6 other events with 8 knockouts or 8 knock KOs, TKOs. So we
Mm,
tied that last night. And then there was that one other finish because Kevin got that sub. But in
yeah.
terms of knockouts, the record is 8.
Yeah.
So
So this is how crazy it is. Adrian Yanez opened the show with this crazy killer knockout. And I
mhm.
keep forgetting about it because there were so many finishes.
Oh, I didn't forget about it. You know
Well,
why I didn't forget about it, Angie?
why?
You know why? Because he's my pick for K Beast mode.
Oh wow!
We
I
got to bring
forgot
it
about
back because
those.
we forgot.
I
I know
forgot
we
about
forgot
those.
about it last week, and I was like, dang it. So yeah, K Beast mode. That's what Yanez was all. That was my dude.
Dang. Okay, that's pretty cool. I guess I'll say Kevin Holland overkilled it.
Overkilled it. Oh, he
He
overkilled
overkilled it.
it.
Just because of everything that he went through with the losses, with the shit talk, dealing with trolls, dealing with just wanting to get his wrestling better. Also
Yeah.
being a part-time vigilante when he's
Yeah.
not fighting, like
Right.
what the hell, like this guy is just everywhere at one place. So that he overkilled it because he's going above and beyond for his fans. I don't know if the person he saved was a fan, but they will be now. So
Exactly.
yeah, good job. Good job. But
Yeah.
yeah, Giannis's knockout was really
So
intense.
good.
Just the way he dropped Kelly and then
Mhm.
followed up behind him. For a second, I thought the ref was grabbing Giannis like by the waist and like kind of pulling
Mhm.
him off him, but he wasn't. He was just kind of like, oh, what are you gonna do? I'm not
Right.
stopping it yet. So
Right.
Giannis kind of angled off and was hitting him in the side of the head, but he couldn't even see where the punches were going. And just the optics of that were just so nasty and violent. And I loved it.
Yeah, he was in KB's, but it was unbelievable. And then afterwards, he was flipping him off. There's a great picture I saw of him with Kelly knocked out and Adrian flipping him off. And the thing about it too is it was a home crowd for Adrian. He's from Texas. He's not from Austin, but he's from Texas, and so had a lot of people in the crowd. And the thing about it is that Tony Kelly really leaned into the whole bad guy thing. I don't know if they were broadcasting the walkouts, but he walked out flipping everybody off and stuff. And so,
Oh, no
yeah.
way.
So
that makes it make more sense then, because
yeah.
Giannis
So
was saying how he wasn't really affected by the shit talk. So
right.
I was confused.
Right. So even so when all that stuff had happened with Tony saying that stuff about the Brazilians, that was right around the time that Adrian's fight had actually just gotten announced with him. And so he said he got all this support, all these people were messaging him and like doing, do it for us and blah, 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 blah. But that even just the night of, yeah, Tony was really just leaning into playing the bad guy.
Yeah, okay.
So the place was just so amped when he went. And I just remembered now that I think I actually filmed the arena for like in the stories or something, because I was like, holy crap, this place is going nuts.
Nice.
Yeah, it was in my
Yeah,
stories.
you could hear it. That was definitely
Yeah.
the biggest boom. I felt
Yeah.
like the entire night when Giannis got that knockout, like
Yeah.
everyone was going nuts. It was
It was.
really fun to watch.
It was. I'm sure. Yeah, no, Brewster saying, yeah, he couldn't miss. He did
No.
great. He really did great. And then yeah, Joe, he's Giannis calling out Sugar Sean was nuts. He said, "Oh, Sugar Sean's scared of me." And honestly, like the timing of that would work out because Sugar Sean's fighting in a few weeks against Pedro Munoz. on July 1st, and by the way, Pedro was our guest last week on Tuesday Night Festivities, so people can check that out.
Oh, how's
And he
Pedro
was
doing?
Yeah, good. Yeah, Pedro was great.
Nice.
And so the timing would work out like in terms of their fight schedules. He and Sugar Sean could fight,
Yeah, it would be perfect. And if depending on what happens, this is a big step up for O'Malley. So
Yeah.
if he wins, he'll have the leverage to keep ducking Yanez.
Exactly.
He can,
Yeah,
he can
exactly.
If he is afraid to fight Yanez, then he could keep on not fighting him.
He has to win
wins.
against Munoz. Yeah.
Yes, but if he
Yeah.
loses, there's a case to be made for that being their
Yeah.
next fight. So
Yep.
I'd be interested to see what happens after that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that'll be a fun one. And let me just say that the Joaquin
Buckley. Yeah, I was gonna
is
throw that
super
up there.
fun one, too.
What was I gonna say? No, there was the one saying that his was really that it was just, I don't know, somebody said something that he was in, I forget. Oh yeah. That he was that he did. Yeah. I thought he was like that fight. Did you see that dude's eye?
It was nasty. It was so
Uriah.
nasty.
Yeah, that is
lots of nasty eyes.
Yeah.
They're starting to blend together.
Yeah, no, that was bad.
Yeah, there was a lot of nasty eyes. What was it exactly? Was he doing kind of like a level change, like punch? Or what was it, do you think, that really mashed the eye up? Because I know he landed a couple head kicks. I'm trying to remember.
I'm trying to remember too, because I'm confused because I'm thinking of Kevin where he faked the shot and faked the grab of the leg.
He like kind of touched the leg and then
then went
crossed a few times.
Yeah.
So I know that happened. I'm trying to remember.
I don't remember. Like I said, I wish they had sent out the highlights. Aren't out yet. I don't have my reel from them. They send it to me, and so I don't have it yet.
But anyway, he looked powerful.
Yeah.
He looked very powerful. I love also seeing that, once it got to the ground, he was able to pop up immediately. They were like, yeah, I mean, it was like barely. I almost feel like you can't count those as takedowns because it was literally just, he was up against the fence, got his legs scooped up. He kind of brought his legs back to him and then was able to pop back up. So nothing was really secured in the takedown department. And now he's just showing, hey, man, this isn't the only way you're going to be able to beat me. You're going to have to like do a little more than that in order to win. And he ate the leg kick, or not the leg kick. He ate a head kick too. That would have put a lot of people down. Like that thing landed flush. So good on you, Joaquin, for like building those neck muscles. Like
he's
just bounce off you like a bullet. Superman. A Superman bullet, not a regular person.
This is Prank Game saying that Brazilian girl Silva dominated her opponent last night. Yeah, she looked really good against Jasmine Jazudavicius.
Jazudavicius?
I know it's a funky name. It's a funky name, but yeah, no, she looked good. She and the funny thing is like she looked like she was a kickboxer or something, but she's on her bio it says like grappling and stuff or something like that, or maybe it's grappling and stuff. But I was just like, wow, she was good, and that was her debut. She's a jungle fight champ before.
Good for her.
Yeah, so that was good, and she's cute and stuff, so that was fun.
Hey, that always helps.
Yep. Let's see. Yeah, but like, I'm trying to think what else, if anybody else stood out to you.
I'll just take another gander at this. What is his name? We got to talk about our boy Duran.
So
that's another one. It's just there
were so many. Poor Duran. He's I literally, so in the airport today, I was talking to Mike Beltran before we left. We were in the airport and we were just talking about, when you're reffing stuff like that. And, it's just really tough because he said, there are some people and Duran's one of them that are probably too tough for their own good,
Yeah.
and like, because to me, I'm like, somebody could throw the towel in and I'd be okay with this, like,
Yeah.
and he's a good dude and I'm not trying to whatever. And I know fighters hate that and they want to go out on their shield, but dude, it was the fourth largest strike differential in middleweight history. It was like a plus 86 strike differential. Duran only landed 32 punches, I believe.
Oh man.
So it's a rough night at the office. I felt
It
bad.
was. It was. And you know what? It wasn't that he was just outmatched. I felt like he felt a little hesitant. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Yeah. Well, it's
it
been a
just
while since he's been in there.
it's been around a while. It's a fight that he's been thinking about since he hasn't been in there. Meanwhile, like, it's I don't know. It's a hard one to get over, especially when you have a little more working to do to get inside. I don't know if he would ever go down a weight class, but I feel like it would help when it comes
Yeah,
to
it would.
just that reach, deficiency, being so small in there. Like he looked incredibly small, like smaller
Yeah.
than his previous fights I watched, just because Phil Hawes is a big hulking machine. Like
Megatron.
he is a Megatron, man. I feel like he would like transform into
Totally.
I don't know, like a big old Dodge truck or something.
Yeah, like,
Like
he's
he's
huge.
he's a big dude. So that was a huge task for him to take on, and he wasn't able to get the takedown. Like that's going to be the key for him every time he fights.
Mhm.
Get the takedown, show a little something. But yeah, he started getting his boxing going, but it was
Yeah.
way too little, too late. But man, he is tough. Like,
I
oh my
know.
god, how
But
did he take that much
I don't know.
punishment? Like the kid has my respect for sure for being so tough and not willing to just sit down and take the easy way out.
For sure. But he should take a hard look and consider dropping 15 pounds and just try it. No, I mean, I'm not being a
Just
dick.
once.
I'm
No,
just
just
saying,
once
no,
for
just try
sure.
it to see if he can. Like to
Yeah.
honestly say, like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna go through a camp or whatever, or like see if I could do this and see how I feel. Like, don't just say, yeah, I'm taking a fight at 170. Like try to get yourself there and see how you feel.
And it is hard doing that without having a fight booked. So
Yeah, I'm sure.
I wouldn't be mad at him just trying to take a fight, but you
Yeah.
can always pull out. Like
True. Like it's not gonna work. Yeah, you would know, I guess, weeks out, like, bro, it's not
yeah.
gonna happen.
Like it's not happening.
Yeah.
I hurt
I
my
can't
toe.
get there.
You know?
Yeah. My toe.
Ow. My
Yeah.
arm's broken.
Yeah.
uh
Yeah.
because I tried to cut it off to make weight. But yeah, man, it's just so hard for him to fight people that size, even if your wrestling is just the best in the world.
Mhm. Joey, big fan of both. I hope you're talking about us. If you are, thank you. And if you're talking about the fighters, well, all right, that's cool too. But yeah, actually, people bring it up too. Yeah, Roman Dolidze, like that's the whole thing. The night started with a bang, like the very first fight with Dolidze versus Dawkins, and
I missed
it was
that
so
one.
he got these great knees, like he just had like bam, like
Oh.
kneeing him in the head, and it was
I did see the
powerful.
fix. Oh
Yeah,
man,
yeah, it
it
was
was lovely.
brutal.
Yeah.
It was really good, but it was brutal. But then afterwards, he got on the mic and he's all like, that's for Bisping because Bisping, I guess, had criticized him after his last fight because it was, all wrestling or something. And so he
Ah.
said, I wanted to prove that I have hands and, that I can, he's like, I can kill anybody here. And you're sort of like, phrasing, How about, you know what I mean? Like I always, you know what I mean? I feel
beat them up.
sometimes I'm like, I know it's your second language phrasing. We need to work on
Yeah, I
phrasing.
just mean beat them up really bad. I don't mean literally kill them. We don't want to do that here. Not after we're done fighting them, at least. We want them to live.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a question for you with a donation here. I got to make sure I get to it before
Ooh,
we wrap
donation
things.
question.
Yes. So from
Hey.
Electric Van Life to the great Angela, do you believe in destiny? And what has your experience with aliens been personally, not including your famous family history?
I've never seen aliens. Oh my gosh. There was this one time, and I don't know if I remember it right, but there was a time where I was a kid and there was this thing like floating around in the air, and we were watching it from the backyard, and my mom was like, "Look, Angela, it's Santa Claus." And it literally looked like Santa in his sleigh. Like that would have been a great explanation, because it was just a line of lights, and they were kind of going like this, and it didn't look like a plane with like a tassel behind it or anything like that. It just looked like a line of lights. So my mom said it was Santa Claus, and I believe that for like 2 seconds. And I'm like, it's probably aliens. So that's the only time I actually feel like I saw something weird in the sky. There was a moment, and I was so pissed because like half the people I know in San Diego saw it, but there was a moment in San Diego where there were a bunch of lights just like floating over the ocean, and they were zipping back and forth. And then the Air Force claimed that they weren't doing any like maneuvering.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because there's so much military down there.
Yeah, so the Air Force said there was no sky traffic that day. So it was probably just government doing some sketchy government shit, but it was weird. It was just like dots coming together, going apart, disappearing, coming back. And this was recently, maybe 3 or 4 years ago in San Diego. So I'm kind of sad that I missed that one. But yeah, I don't know. I don't really. Sometimes I believe in destiny. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I feel like you just pick up on things that trigger feelings that you didn't expect them to. You have a lot of full circle moments. The older you get, the more you're like, whoa, I can't believe this is happening now, because 10 years ago this was happening, and now these two things are related, because full circle moments like that. I have a lot of that in like my fight career and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. What do you think about destiny and aliens and all that stuff?
I definitely believe in aliens. Close Encounters is one of my favorite movies of all time. Like it is like a top 5 for me, all movies. So I believe in them. I've never seen any, but I would imagine off the coast where there's all the military in San Diego, Pendleton and all that stuff, that it was either drones or whatever, or some new tech, new
or
new
they're
kind of
just
thing.
playing with aliens.
Playing with aliens, right? But no. But what I was going to say is recently they declassified a bunch of stuff.
Yeah,
The military declassified. So I was actually watching a lot of that, and there is a lot of stuff like that where they're like, I don't know what it is. Do you know what it is? I don't know what it is. And it is something flying and hovering around, and it is really cool to see that stuff. So I definitely believe in them, 100%. In terms of destiny, it's interesting because I go kind of I wonder about this a lot. Like I do think there are certain things you were destined to be, or but I'd like to believe you still have some choice in getting to that destiny, maybe. But I do think there is a certain amount of things mapped out, and like I don't believe in soulmates, but I do believe that there are some people that like you were supposed to meet. You know what I mean? And for some reason, like randomly, like you meet, and within a very short amount of time, you're like, why do I love this person? Like, in some way. Like, I don't mean necessarily romantically love them. I'm just saying, like, sometimes you meet somebody that you just vibe with, like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you think, and so stuff like that, I do think, there's some destiny involved there, like that you were meant to meet this person that you connect with or something. But So a little, I guess. I don't know. Did I answer the question?
Yeah. That's a different question. Thanks.
I know.
Thanks for the different question.
Yes. Well, here's a different question from another one with another donation. Who was the most positive influence in your lives? I don't know. That's a hard one.
I mean, I have to say my mom.
My mom, right? Yeah, exactly.
I don't know if she's listening. I'm not trying to get extra points, but I always joke about just posting pictures of her on Father's Day.
Yeah, right. Because she did it.
Because she was doing all of it. She was the single mom raising 3 kids. That shit's hard, man. It's really hard. She worked full time, made sure we were safe, fed, clothed, and always not just the physical things and the necessities, but she always pumped me up. Like she would always tell me I'm beautiful, always telling me I'm talented. I could do anything that I want to. I just have to put my mind to it. Always told me that, life is going to be hard. You have to work 3 times harder. You're a Black woman. You have to work 3 times harder. But baby, you're gonna get it. Like, you're gonna
Yeah.
get it. I can see you're gonna get it. You're a hard worker.
Right.
You're not gonna
Right.
let that get you down. And so she has always been a positive force in my life, because she walked the walk again. She
Right.
did what she said that I could do. She had a full-time job. She worked her way up
Yeah.
in her office, and just became the breadwinner of the family. She was able to provide for us. She didn't let not having a college education keep her down. She just worked mad hard and was able to get the things that she set out to get. So it
Yeah.
was really cool, just using her as inspiration whenever I was nervous about being in a new setting, or
Yeah.
nervous about talking to people who I didn't feel like would take me seriously or anything like that. I always thought about what my mom would do in that situation, because she has always been that person, like
Yeah.
she has this really fun story I like to tell people about, because she worked for a insurance company. And there was one day she was setting up a training. So she would travel all over the US and do these trainings to teach people how to do their job better. And so there was one day where she's setting up things for the training, and she had this cute little white and black dress on. I might have told you this story before.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, she had this cute little white and black dress on, and she was feeling herself. And she noticed everyone kept asking her what things are. They're like, "Oh, do you know where the bathroom is?" And she's like, "Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, it's over there." And then they're like, "Oh, do you know where I could like get a drink of water or something, or soda?"
Right.
And she's like, "Oh, I think it's over there. Yeah, yeah." And then eventually she realized they thought she was the maid. They thought she was setting up a training to teach them, but they thought she was the maid. So when when she got up in front of everyone and introduced them as a project coordinator, they were making the same face you made. They were just like, "Oh shit." Oh no. So moral of the story is, like,
Holy crap.
it doesn't matter what the first impression is.
Right.
Wow them, make that face, show up and do your job and do it better than who they thought should be
Yeah.
doing that job. So
Yeah. Well,
I love that woman. She's been a huge inspiration in my life.
it's great. Well, yeah, and I'm saying we do have to do that trip sometime with you and me and your mom and my mom, because they sound very similar in terms of mindset of like the positivity in terms of being supportive, because yeah, that's why it's such a positive influence. She's always like the number one supporter. Yeah, that you're the best, you're gonna get everything you do, or you deserve everything. I will say, she's realistic though. It's like, not trying to tell me I'm going to get everything, because we both know I'm not, but always my biggest cheerleader and stuff. But I have to say, she is a very positive influence on my life. But I have to say, now that I'm a mom, Aurora is actually a very positive influence on my life too. So that's the thing. It's like a tie now, because you get a different kind of positivity from both of them. You know what I mean? And so yeah, it's and that one's, like it's a trip. Like, I don't want to mess her up, but like she has done a lot for me. Like, and I never thought I was going to be a mom necessarily. Like, I didn't have to be a mom to feel like I was going to be satisfied in life. It was like, so it wasn't something I had to do, because I honestly didn't think I'd be very good at it. But she is. I really didn't. She's awesome. And so I'm like, well, apparently I'm pretty good at it, because she's a really good kid.
Whoops, I'm a great mom. Whoops.
Just, I mean, so
doing your thing.
I actually have to go get her in a little bit. But yeah, no, she's a really good, sweet kid.
That's so cool. And I feel like that youthful optimism too is something that you need in your life at a certain point. Anytime I'm messing around with kids or teaching them something, I'm like, God damn, I see why people do this, like I see why people will teach, even though it's one of the most underpaid jobs in America, because there is satisfaction in opening people's eyes, and then in return they do the same for you, and you're like, yeah, I remember when I was that young and dumb.
Yeah. Well, the cool thing is, like, so
hungry.
I'm constantly, and I'm like, I take her to concerts. I'm always just taking her to stuff and doing stuff. And so we were watching, or she already watched all of Stranger Things, but I was watching one, and then there was this scene with the song. So then I send her a thing, and I'm like, hey, this song is by Talking Heads. They went to RISD. They formed at RISD. And she's like, oh, that's cool. I didn't know that. And so she's like, a show that she loves, and it's the school I want her to go to. So I'm like, da da da. And then like something else happens in the scene. And then I'm like, yeah. And this guy who did this thing direct, or whatever. And like, yeah, you're like teaching him. She's like, wow, that's cool. And I know that she's cool. Like, to her friends, I know that she's a good kid. She's conscientious and she knows stuff, and she's cool. She's a good kid. She's a good kid. So yeah, it's positivity. This somehow turned into like a totally different podcast. People are wondering about I'll ask another MMA question here. Nunes versus Juliana rematch going to be so interesting because Amanda is now training in a different facility, and Juliana is so determined to defend her belt. Yeah, I mean, what do you make of that one? I personally think 9 times out of 10, Amanda beats Juliana. So I don't necessarily think she's going to keep the belt. But that said, she is probably the most determined person, and like the biggest chip on her shoulder, and like is working over time. So she could totally retain.
And it's that belief. She has that belief. I don't think I've ever once seen her quit on anything. Any loss that she has, she never quits. And that's one thing that she'll always have over Amanda, is that we've seen her break before. We've seen her kind of take the foot off the gas before. And it almost felt like that happened when she fought Juliana. It almost felt like
Well, I was gonna say she had a lot of injuries.
Oh yeah. So can we talk about that yet, or we can't?
Yeah, no, she talked
about it last time.
But go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Well, I'll just say that it seemed like she just accepted that they were going to brawl because it was the easiest way out at that point. Like, hey, let's brawl. And then eventually she started losing the brawl. And then, that happened. She fell over and, or got taken down. And then, that was the end of the fight. And, I wouldn't be surprised if Juliana did it again. That's just the thing. I wouldn't be surprised if she was able to do it again, because she has that determination. She's tenacious. She never gives up. She has that belief in herself. And she already showed that she has the skills to do something. Like, she didn't take that much damage in that fight. She was in the pocket with a heavy hitter in Nunes, and she was able to just bring the fight to her. So yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. And this is just total conspiracy theorist stuff, but there were a lot of injuries on the Nunes side of the team. So who's to say that the injury is healed? I'm just putting it out there.
I don't know. But what I'm saying, I don't think we saw Amanda at full capacity, that night.
Yes.
But yes, Juliana is incredibly scrappy. And, she might just be Amanda's kryptonite. Like like people have somebody that's just got your number and you just can't beat them. And like, it sucks. Like that just, what you gonna do? Like, so it could be that way. Although I do think, it's tricky, right? Because on the one hand, you could argue maybe Amanda got complacent a little bit because she's double champ, she got a family, and she could take it easy, and she was winning, convincingly and without too much effort, it seemed. Anyway, we know obviously it's a lot of hard work to make something look easy, but so perhaps she wasn't as hungry for wins as she was before. So what will this do to her motivation? Will she be completely reinvigorated and get back what was once hers and reclaim that? I mean, I think she really liked being the champ.
For sure, but she's still the champ. That's the thing. She's still the champ. And
but
the other one, she doesn't have to cut weight for.
Yeah, but nobody's in that division. Like, nobody thinks like that division doesn't hold the same clout of the bantam division. That's what I mean.
No, for sure. For sure. It's just, I do think there is a bit of chill when you have a belt already. I do feel like you're able to let go of a situation when before you would fight tooth and nail. I feel like it's similar to fighting someone when you already have a win over them. Like your stock isn't going to go down completely because you still have the strap. You're still the top of, the list. You can still say UFC champion, win or lose at the end of the day. So that's the only reason I'm like, I don't know. I think Juliana could pull it off again. I just feel it.
Yeah.
But watching Tough, you do see a difference in the camps, and it's probably just luck, but there could be something to it where Nunes's camp, the fighters over there are getting injured more
Uh-huh.
frequently than Pena's camp. Like
Gotcha.
I think it was
Gotcha.
like two people on their side got injured so far on the show, and on the other side everyone's chilling. So
Gotcha.
it might be like the way that they're training over there too.
Nice. Yeah. Well, you never know. You never know. No for gay Jesus. Yes, this show is live. No for gay Jesus. That's funny.
Uh,
See, MMA action
just
saying Amanda
derailed
does look
everything.
motivated. Yeah, it does look motivated now. Trady 80 saying Amanda's gonna go do much better this time. I love Amanda's skills. I think she was just off that day. But she'll be back. But Brewster saying pick Pena in the rematch. We've seen fighter lose that magic and never get it back. Plus Pena's in her head.
She could be.
Oh,
She
she
could
could
be.
be.
She
She
could
could be.
definitely
She
be.
could
You
be.
know?
She could be. But I also do think though that there is I wonder how Juliana's going to fight if she's afraid to lose. Do you know what
Mm.
I mean?
I don't think she ever does is that. Or if she is
But
afraid to
now
lose,
she's the
she's
champ.
afraid to lose every time she goes out. Like she
I
goes
guess so.
out
I
there
guess
with a
so.
chip on her shoulder.
No, she
Like
does
it's
have such a chip, but she's never been the champ
yeah.
before.
Yeah. I just feel like
Yeah.
every time she goes out there, she's afraid to lose to the point where she just goes, does everything. Like I'll never forget how like just her whole demeanor in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah.
And she felt so slighted and was so angry at the fact that she didn't get the championship fight yet. And the
Right.
whole time I was just thinking, well, I mean, if you win this, you probably will,
Right. Exactly.
but she just was like, man, like she just felt
She was
like
mad. Yeah.
she was mad. She felt like she was slighted. She felt like she should have gotten that shot already. So I feel like every time she goes into a fight, she is just like, I can't believe I haven't won the fight already. Like I can't
Yeah.
believe
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
didn't
Yeah.
just quit
Yeah.
before they
You're
got
right.
here. Like how dare they stand up next in front of me and think that they're gonna win. And
That's
yeah,
right.
she didn't win that fight, but she didn't hold back at all. Like the entire fight was just forward pressure. No matter how much Jermaine threw at her, she was walking through it and making it a dirty fight. And yeah, like if it wasn't for that guillotine, I wouldn't be surprised if she just won on points because
Yeah.
she was making it a dirty fight. And I think that's how she is gonna fight regardless. But it is an interesting point. I would be surprised. I would be surprised if she
Yeah.
fought in a cautious way just because of her track record.
Right. Well, let's see. This person, Street Guru, saying Nunes showed zero heart that last fight. Tapping to the submission was a disgrace.
What?
But you're saying Pena is a plus 235 underdog, though, making no sense. So I guess the people think that Amanda had a bad night. If that's
what
true, if those odds are true, that means
what
that
what was the deal with the submission? Was it just not like around her neck?
I
Did
don't
people
remember.
think
Maybe it was just too sloppy. Maybe they're just saying she just gave up. I don't know. I don't remember it perfectly, so I
yeah.
can't comment on exactly how it ended. But yeah. But speaking of exactly how it ended, I need to
Yeah,
wrap
go
this
get
up
your
soon
kid.
because I gotta go get her.
Happy
Yeah,
Father's Day, Karen.
yeah,
You're doing a
right.
great job being a mom
Um,
dad.
Thanks. Yeah, she's with her
Yeah.
dad. She has a real dad. But yeah. So
But sometimes we feel like our moms deserve a happy Father's Day
well,
too.
I don't want to get into that. Let's just wrap up
Oh
the show.
no. Okay,
But
yeah.
it's true. Yes, I
Let's end on
am.
a
I
high note.
am. I got dad muscles too.
You do.
It's definitely the truth.
You can
One
kick
thing
his
I
ass.
want to I want to I meant to yeah, so this is where you see our show. It's on Angie's Twitch. Yes, I know. My YouTube and my Twitter. Yeah, I could put it, I need to do it the other way. I meant to put it on the side where you can still see us fully. I'm sorry. That's my
Oh, this is
bad.
fine. This is cool. I like
But
doing
yeah,
that.
so it's on Angie's Twitch, which is
Which is at Angie. I mean, it's twitch.tv/Angie Overkill. Also, you can find What, me or the show? You can find the show on
yeah.
YouTube
Yes.
and on Twitter.
On my Twitter, exactly.
And if you want to follow me, you can go to Angie Overkill on Instagram and Twitter, Overkill Hill on TikTok, and Ceremonial Weigh-In on YouTube now. We're doing that now, and eventually Two Straws on Fight Pass. So we're
Nice.
everywhere.
Nice. She's
And where can
taking
they
over.
find? Yeah, Angie everywhere all the time. I don't know why anyone would want to listen to my voice that long. And where can we find you, Karyn?
You can find me on YouTube at Karyn Bryant, Karyn. Bryant as in Kobe, no relation, but may he rest in peace. That is also my Twitter. Over on Instagram, I'm at KB Heat. Also have festivities over there this week. Our guest is going to be actually, I'm not sure. We were trying to get somebody and she couldn't make it this week. So I actually need to figure that out. But last week's was Pedro Munoz, and we had a really good time with him. So look for Tuesday Night Festivities. That's on YouTube and festivities.com.
Nice.
And yeah,
Ooh, you got festivities.com now? Is that new?
I've had that for a while. It's just that I'd forgot I had it, and then I put everything. So everything is over there, but it's got a really basic site, and I'm already like, oh, I got to change this, and I got to change that, I got to change the colors, and I got to change this. So I did it because I'm not really very tech savvy, but so it's like the most slapdash thing, but it has everything there. So it's just like a one-stop shop for all the festivities. It's just a lot easier. Yeah, so you can go over there. But anyway, yeah. And then you can also find this on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and iHeartRadio. So
yeah, check it out.
So yeah. But thank you everybody for joining us. We really appreciate all the comments and everything. And thank you so much to Neil Magny. If you guys joined us late, Neil Magny was our guest. He hung out with us for about a half an hour, talking about his fight with Shavkat coming up this weekend, talking about being a dad, talking about it being a Haitian sensation, all kinds of good stuff. So really good combo. So if you missed it, you should definitely go back and check it out.
Right? He's awesome. He's such a good guy. Oh my God.
He's like the best guy.
There's no
I think she's out of all right, Angie. Let's wrap it. I don't see you anymore.
Yeah, he knocked out the thing.
Butcher. Puppy dog knocked it out. Okay, there you are. All right, folks. Well, anyway, we're gonna say goodbye. No. Thanks for joining us. And oh my gosh.
Sorry, the dog pulled out my Ethernet.
It's funny. Thanks for joining us, folks. See you later.